Rockstar surprised all of us this morning by dropping the second trailer for GTA 6, and wouldn't you know it, it looks absolutely incredible. The level of detail and variety in this trailer is completely mind-blowing. So I just want to take a closer look at this trailer, pick out some details that I appreciated, and also fill in the gaps with the information that Rockstar put on their website, which has been down all morning because so many people are clicking on it. From the top, the focus of this trailer seems to be on Jason, where trailer 1 was more about Lucia. This time we're looking at the other protagonist, whose full name is Jason Duvall. And we get sort of a day in the life of Jason here. We follow his perspective. Jason works for a drug runner named Brian Heater, and he comes by and tells him, hey, you need to go collect money for me. That's your job. From the website, we know that Jason grew up around crooks and grifters, and although he went to serve in the army, afterwards, he came back and did what he knows best, which is work for them. Following Jason through his day, we see more of Vice City and Leonida and just how detail-packed this world is. It's just on another level. That's the biggest takeaway I have, is just there's so much more going on, more volume of things going on. Moving on, we see Jason show up at the penitentiary to get Lucia Caminos out of jail. The other protagonist, we get her last name there. And also this cop says, have I seen you here before? Implying Jason's also been to jail. From the website, it says meeting Lucia could be the best or worst thing to ever happen to him, implying that Lucia is not exactly a good influence. We see a lot of their relationship in this trailer, which seems to be very physical, of course, but also they are partners in crime, literally. The Bonnie and Clyde comparisons could not be more accurate in this trailer. We learn that Lucia's father taught her to fight as soon as she could walk, and life has been coming at her swinging ever since. Fighting for her family is what got her in jail, and luck is what got her out, so she's learned her lesson, only smart moves from here. She wants the good life, and she's prepared to take matters into her own hands. But of course, this is a GTA game, so things don't go as planned. I think we're seeing that right here. An easy score ends up going wrong, and then they find themselves on the darkest side of the sunniest place in America, in the middle of a criminal conspiracy across the state of Leonida. And here we get a montage of a lot of great shots of Vice City with a little description from the website. This is the glamour, hustle, and greed of America captured in a single city. We'll get to see pastel Art Deco hotels, white sand beaches, bustling shops in Little Cuba, and the flea market, and the VC port. Here we see Lucia coming back to Jason from what looks like a day of serving community service for whatever crime she did. This final stretch of the trailer seems to be focused on vehicles. You've got helicopters, sea-doos, motorcycles, planes, car heists, all kinds of fun stuff going on. All the while, Jason and Lucia seem to be meeting in these cheap hotels and sort of gathering themselves in between missions. It all just looks fantastic. Something to note at the end of this trailer, we get the release date again, May 26, 2026, but also it says captured on PS5 and there's no PC listed. So don't expect this to magically come to PC on launch unless there's a miracle. And then this is running on current gen PS5, probably Pro hardware, in order to give us these insane visuals, which are all captured in engine. This trailer was uploaded in 30 frames per second. So again, I would expect 30 frames on launch, similar to RDR2 and GTA 5. All right, let's go back through this trailer and pause on some of the more finer details of what we're seeing. Let's talk more about Brian. He is the drug runner that Jason works for, and from the website we learn he's a classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling, still moving product through his boatyard with his third wife, Lori. Brian's been around long enough to let others do his dirty work. We see that in action. Jason and Cal are loading something onto a plane outside of Brian's Boatworks and Marina, and they're also wearing hats and shirts that say Brian's on it. And just look at these insane screenshots, just the detail of this man's face, his hair, and everything else going on with the lighting is it's just insane. We see Cal a lot in this trailer, so let's talk more about him. His name is Cal Hampton. He's Jason's friend and also works for Brian, like we mentioned, but he feels safest at home. He's paranoid, he believes everything he reads on the internet, and he's less ambitious than Jason. But he looks like he knows how to have a good time, and he really reminds me of Maddie Matheson. The only other specific detail I want to talk about from the trailer is this heist, this score gone wrong, because there's a couple characters in here and some dialogue that points to what's going on. Jason and Lucia go to this nightclub, and Jason is talking to somebody, and he says, "Yo, D, is this guy a Fed?" And then we see them having to escape with the police overhead, and Brian says they've got your names, they know where you live, the feds know who you are. This all seems connected to Vice City's nightlife scene, and specifically a strip club owned by a character named Booby Ike and Draquan Priest, who's a music manager connected to Booby. So yeah, I think that's who the D is they're referring to in that scene. So somehow Jason and Lucia get mixed up with these guys, something goes wrong. A couple other characters from the trailer. We get to see a couple times Real Dimes, which is this music duo signed by Draquan Priest, so they're definitely involved. And then there's Raul Batista, and I don't think he's in this trailer. I slowed down to try to find him. There's a cop that looks like him, but I don't think that's him. This guy is a seasoned bank robber. He's always ready to take big risks for big payoffs. Let's talk about more gameplay stuff that we might be able to assume by looking at this trailer. First off, it seems early game, we're probably going to be collecting a lot for Brian. It seems like hitting up gas stations, hitting up shop owners that might owe him money. That's going to be something we're going to be doing, and it's probably going to feel similar to GTA 5, what it feels like to rob a store. It feels like there's a lot of dynamic stuff in the world. Places you might be, the beaches, being at the gas station, anybody could walk into this place. Cops could be arresting somebody on the side of the street, which I feel like we haven't seen in this detail before. Just the amount of detail, the birds, the wildlife, the jet skis, and all the background of every single gameplay clip is insane. We see Jason shooting out of that car. Obviously, drive-bys are going to be possible in this game. Maybe some kickboxing for Lucia. Some crazy plane heist stuff going on, towing stuff with your truck. The NPC and car volume is something that's also caught my eye. It's just crazy when you look at it, and you're going to be flying through these levels at top speed in vehicles. It's just crazy. Of course, a lot of this stuff is scripted from cutscenes, so not all of it will be dynamic, but from what I've seen, I'm still really excited. Something they've taken to another level that I've really noticed is these character models. They look insane, just like the sweat on Jason in this first intro cutscene. But you really get to see this shown off in the screenshots that Rockstar has released of all the characters and just random shots of the city. These characters look amazing. This guy in particular kind of reminds me of Arthur Morgan. Of course, I'm thinking about that. But it looks like they took sort of that visual standard with RDR2 and just elevated it and pushed it further. And already RDR2 looks amazing. So to see that they're going beyond that in a game that looks better than most games even today is just so great to see. Let's look at some more screenshots because you get to see more parts of the world than the trailer shows off, and also Rockstar gave us descriptions on the website of each of these areas of Leonida that we're going to get to see. We already mentioned the different neighborhoods, but again, just looking at the raw detail like inside the clubs, on the beach, more dynamic things like bikers, doing street races or people playing basketball on courts. It's just fascinating to look at these scenes. Now we're looking at the Leonida Keys, which is the gateway to paradise. It says the dress code is casual, the bars are loaded. Life in this tropical archipelago isn't flashy, but it's easy. Get your buzz on and pull up a deck chair, but look out, you're right on the doorstep of some of the most beautiful and dangerous waters in all of America. It just makes me think of the Florida Keys and that kind of lifestyle and Jimmy Buffett. I mean, there's got to be some sort of Jimmy Buffett reference in this game. Next is the Grass Rivers, which is the wetlands of Leonida. This is the untamable jewel of Leonida's crown. You never know what lies beneath the surface of this primordial expanse. The gators may be the most famous attraction, but there are far deadlier predators and weirder discoveries among the mangroves. I love seeing this because it shows the diversity of this world and of these characters. We're going to see so many different kinds of people in their different environments. Port Gellhorn is another region of Leonida we'll visit. It says, live hard, this is Leonida's forgotten coast. Cheap motels, shut down attractions, and empty strip malls won't bring the tourists back, but there's a new economy in this once popular vacation spot. It's fueled by malt liquor, painkillers, and truck stop energy drinks. Jump on a dirt bike and hold on to your wallet. I feel like we've seen a lot of Port Gellhorn. Maybe that's where Jason starts in the game, just speculating. But the way they talk about these cheap motels, that feels like where Jason and Lucia meet up in a lot of these scenes. Next is Ambrosia, and the tagline is keeping Leonida sweet. The battle for the health and wealth of Leonida begins here. In the heart of Leonida, American industry and old-school values still reign supreme, whatever the cost. The Allied Crystal Sugar Refinery provides the jobs, while the local biker gang provides almost everything else. I love the biker aesthetic that Rockstar continues to include in their GTA games. It looks like this says Final Chapter Ambrosia for these guys, so a different gang from The Lost, but I'm sure The Lost will be referenced. The final region listed is Mount Caliga, which looks gorgeous. The tagline is Wild, Wild Country, room to breathe on the state's northern fringes. A national landmark up against the state's northern border, Mount Caliga offers prime hunting, fishing, and off-road trails. In the lush surrounding backwoods, hillbilly mystics and paranoid radicals live far from the prying eyes of the government. This is another aesthetic that we always get in a GTA game. There's got to be a rural part of the game. That's what this area looks like to me. And what's interesting, I don't know if you guys have picked up on this, they're actually counting down, like, here's this coast, this region, here's Vice City, here's over here, here's the northern reaches. Are we going to see like the entire state of Leonida? It certainly seems that way from the way that they're describing this. Now, obviously, in previous games, they've tried to show off large areas, but they're very contracted because this is a video game, right? However, this is going to be a pretty big game, so I wonder if they're going to try to make this even larger than we've seen before. Personally, I don't think it needs to be bigger than a GTA 5. I just want it to be fun. And from what I've seen from this trailer and all these screenshots, I have no doubts about that. I mean, it looks like a blast and it looks amazing. Like truly the first next-gen game, which is so funny because we're already 5 years into this current generation and we're getting something, in my eyes, that looks truly like it's pushing the boundaries. So I don't have much else to add. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot more details than I have in this trailer, so if you see something interesting that I missed, please note it in the comments below. I'd love to read what you guys find and come up with. Closing thoughts, what I want to see next. Of course, I'm okay with anything. It's just going to hype me up even further, but I want to see some gameplay. And I know Rockstar typically keeps like actual gameplay from the player's perspective with the UI and everything. They keep that under wraps. They keep it close to their chest, to their vest until launch. Maybe that's the best move for them, to keep the hype as high as it is, but we've still got a full year to go. So I'm curious what their next move is going to be. Regardless, I'm going to be paying attention to it. They've got a full year ahead of them to work on this game, to finish it up, and then start polishing it, making it as good as it possibly can be. Of course, just because we got May 26th of 2026 for the release date doesn't mean that is set in stone. It could easily get delayed again. Red Dead 2 famously got delayed twice before it actually came out. The fact that they gave us a concrete date more than a full year out makes me a little more confident that they'll hit that date. But people telling you for sure they're going to delay it again, I don't think we truly know that until we get further down the line. Regardless, I'm going to spend the next year hyped out of my mind. I mean, this just pushed the bar even further for me. It looks incredible. I can't believe this is what the game looks like in motion, and then even in those screenshots. I know they're just screenshots, but yeah. Looks amazing. Let me know what you guys think about this trailer in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and ring the bell so you don't miss my next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you next time.